Hey YouTube, so I just come back from an OTS championship in Wrexham today. I went undefeated with Mermail. So I'm just going to do a quick deck profile and sort of go over a couple of my choices. It's a fairly standard list, but there's the odd card that opens up to new lines that I found. So starting it off, we've got 3 Neptibus. Not much to say there really. The card, it's your one card starter, probably one of the best one card starters in the game because it's quite hard to completely stop it. Then we've got 3 Abyss Shrine. I am playing the Coelacanth build, so if your plays do get stopped and you've got one of these in your hand that either your opponent doesn't know about or you've searched and managed to hold on to it through all their interactions, then you can summon Coelacanth and sort of still make a big board. Triple Shadow Squad. It's another way to get to Neptibus. Yeah, great card that seems to cost for anything from Teus, sending with Neptibus, of course. If you open up those two, it's full combo. Obviously a bit susceptible to hand traps, but still very good. Triple Dragoons. It's not once per turn. You can resolve it 3-4 times in a game. So yeah, play 3 of it, you want to see it. We've got the 1 heavy infantry for sort of searching at the end of your combo to discarding your opponent's turn with Abyss Shrine. It's also good when you go second if you hard draw it to use it to break boards. We've got Triple Abyss Teus. I'm not the biggest fan of this card, but because I'm playing Coelacanth, you can search the Abyss Shrine if you open just this and a water that doesn't do anything, and then tribute it with the Shrine and summon the Coelacanth. I've got the 1 copy of the Super Ancient Deep Sea Coelacanth. Yeah, card's a huge powerhouse. Yeah, summons a huge board, usually end up double toed off just this. Lets you play through Droll and Shifter. So yeah, great cards. Also, if you get hand trapped a lot, it can give you a big boost of power right at the end to, still take the game. And then, of course, because we're playing the Coelacanth, we've got Triple Abyss Spike. If you're playing that, you definitely need to run sort of at least 3 fish monsters. Don't all need to be Spike. You could run Fishbowl Harpooner or something, but I've opted for 3 Spike because, yeah, if you have that and a water, then you can get the Abyss Shrine, tribute it. So the same sort of thing as Teus, but it uses your normal summon. And obviously you've got one of those fish in the deck if you hard draw, so it makes the Coelacanth a little bit worse too, but it's right. Then we've got the 1 Armored Shark. I'm not playing Guns, and I'm playing Armored Shark instead. They both sort of facilitate the same thing. Armored Shark's like a bit more combo involved. Yeah, I think next set probably get cut, but for now I'm a fan of it. I don't really like Gun very much. We've got the 1 copy of Minstrel. So if you hard open it, it's great to look at your opponent's hand, take out like a crucial piece of interaction they might have, or see that they've got no interaction, take out the worst card in your hand, and then hit them with a Molan Glacier later in the turn, hopefully taking out 2 of their better cards, so increase your odds of that. It's also the only searchable Sea Serpent I'm running that can tribute, like trigger Dragoons that's stuck in your hand or something. So yeah, great card. Don't think I'd cut it. I do side it out sometimes when I'm going second, but I like to keep it in as often as I can, just because being that searchable Sea Serpent that can trigger something is quite nice. Then of course the Molan Glacier, it's sort of almost the whole reason to play the deck really. Being able to just steal 2 cards from your opponent's hand for free is great, and then you can also just remove the downside of it by exceeding with Molten Glacier, so you don't lose your battle phase if it leaves the field. And then we've got the non-engine monsters, so we've got Triple Ash Blossom. Obviously, it's really good just in general, but also with the Molchamis seeing a lot of play, it's an answer to those. And speaking of the Molchamis, we've got 3 Fuwalos and 3 Perulia. So, see, Fuwalos is a wind, which isn't very helpful, particularly because we are also playing Dominus Impulse. So if we have Impulse and Fuwalos, we have to use this one first, which not really a problem, but it could come up where you don't want to just shotgun it and hope for the best. And then we've got 3 Perulia. The sort of stats of Perulia are a little bit better. It's water, level 4, low attack, so you can summon it back with Coralline enemy. However, it's got the worst effect of the two. But still. I wasn't playing these until this event today. I had them, didn't even have them on the side actually, but they performed really well today. Yeah, there were multiple games where I drew sort of one of each, and opponent gave me a couple of draws with them, and sort of ended on a substandard board because they didn't want me to draw too much, and then I was able to just break their board and OTK them. So I think I quite like having all 6 in the main. I'm still not sure about the Perulias, but Fuwalos I think I would main regardless. Then we've got spells. I'll grab the engine ones first. So obviously the Abyss Sting. It's the only Abyss equip that I'm running. Yeah, Monster Reborn, searchable. It's a very good card. Helps you push through boards a little bit as well if something gets like negated and destroyed, or summoning back something you seen as a cost. So yeah, it's a good card. Definitely wouldn't cut it. Then we've got the 1/1 can summon Neptivus from the deck. Not much more to say really. Yeah, if your Neptivus gets like impermed on summon, and you've got this, then you could summon another one, use its effect. So yeah, good card. Not to say I wouldn't cut it. If there's something better came along, I'd cut it. But as for now, I like it. We've got a single triple tactics talent. Yeah, good card going first and second. If you get hand trapped, you can either draw 2 or look at your opponent's hand, steal it, put a card away from that. So nice card. We've got the 1 Proto Prosperity. I didn't draw it today. In theory, it's quite good. Going first, you can sort of safely banish 3 to hopefully find a starter, and going second, you can get away with banishing 6 and sort of looking for a board breaker. So yeah, it seems good. We've got single Caught by the Grave, just another sort of answer to Molchamis, as well as, you know, format mainstays like Ash Blossom, and obviously Droll and Shifter as well. Then we've got triple Dominus Impulse. Card's very strong. There's a lot of things that hits. So yeah, just a fantastic card in this format. The only non-water we run, well, the only card it stops is the Fuwalos, so doesn't really have too much of an impact there, so that's good. Then we've got triple Infinite Impermanence. So yeah, having a bit of a negation that doesn't play into things like thrust or talents is great. As an added bonus, it also gives Dominus Impulse the destruction effect if you've already used this and it's engraved. And then we've got the 1 other Virtue Stream to Search of the Virtue Dragon. Yeah, if you're going second, you side this out every time, but going first, it's a good card to sort of give you a final inboard more layers of interaction. And if you get stopped and you can make a rank 3, then it's not bad either, having a sort of aggressive attack on top of being able to replenish your resources. Now we'll go through the extra deck. So we've got double Hermit Shark, double Toad. Those are obviously very standard, and you can make 2 Toads through combo every game if you go, uninterrupted, or not interrupted completely. You usually can end on double Toad, or at least one if you had to use one of them to protect your board. We've got 2 Abyss Gaius and 2 Poseidra, the Atlantean Dragonlord. You can run one of each. The reason I'm running 2 is because I'm playing this, so the Abyss Gaius ends up as part of my inboard. I only pulled it off once today, but in theory it's okay. It's a little bit win more and it plays into nib, but you do have a slightly stronger inboard against something like Tempai, being able to protect from, stop them from attacking, I think. Yeah, so they can't attack with their synchros. We've got the 1 Armor Xyz Fortress. Obviously searches the shark. Can put another water in the grave to set up Mullen Glacier a bit easier. As well as being able to stick on top of the Bahamut Shark so it can attack. So it puts a bit more damage on the board. All in all, I quite like it. We've got the single Abyss Dweller. Depending on the matchup, you can, instead of having a second Toad, you can have a Dweller instead of Bahamut Shark. So that's always an option. And yeah, against some decks this format, it just wins you the game by itself. Particularly sort of anything with Fire King in it. I played against Fire King today. And yeah, Dweller sealed it both times I summoned it. So yeah, great card, and you definitely have to play it in this deck. We've got the 1 Virtue Dragon. So obviously it searches the Virtue Stream. And it can also add back a water from your grave. So yeah, that's really good. And then for the links, so I'm not playing Zelantis. I've got the 1 Coralline Enemy, sort of just using combo, bring something back. Reason for not playing Zelantis was I felt that getting 4 monsters on board to use as material is a little bit hard, and if you're able to do that, your opponent probably doesn't have anything to stop you. So I didn't see much benefit for it. I'm playing the 1 copy of Mermail King Neptibus and the 1 Abyss Elysia from the links. And then I've got final card, 1 Synchro, a White Aura, Monoceros. So for those who don't know, it's just a level 7 water synchro, requires a water tuner. If it's synchro summoned, you can target a fish in your graveyard, special summon it, but it cannot attack this turn. You can only use this effect of once per turn, and yeah, well, that's the main effect really. So it just allows you to make a Gaios as part of your inboard. I'll go over the combo at the very end. It's sort of the standard Neptibus line, it just diverges a little bit at the end. It does unfortunately play into Nibiru though. And then for the side deck, we've got Triple Droll and Lockbird. Yeah, great card against sort of like those Fire King decks. Again, against Rogue, it's usually decent. And we've got the Molchamis in the main, so it's a card that can easily slide in for those if you've got nothing else. Triple Cyclone, didn't need them today, but yeah, it's good against sort of Azamina, anything that has space that spells traps, good against Centurion. We've got Triple Crossheart Designator. So if we're going first, these come in. Yeah, sort of we'll keep the 1 Furos. Peruli is probably coming out. Yeah, Crossheart Designator is up there. We've got Triple Thrust. So yeah, for some decks with those sort of hand traps that will end your turn, like Shifter, we've got Thrust, and we can go into either Dimension Ground, Barrier, and we've got an evenly matched for, if it's a deck that makes an impressive board, we can thrust for evenly matched to sort of help out it as well. And obviously we've got the talents in the main to help with that board breaking as well. Alright, I'm just going to go over the combo with Monoceros that sort of ends on, I think, quite a potent board. So it starts off with Nectibus, as pretty much all our combos really do. So you normal summon Nectibus, activate his effect to send the Shadow Squad and add a Dragoons to your hand. Shadow Squad triggers summoning a Abyss Pike, and then Abyss Pike triggers discarding the Dragoons to add the Abyss Shrine. And then the Dragoons will trigger adding a Sea Serpent, so we'll add the Molan Glacier. Now we can go Abyss Shrine, tribute itself and the Nectibus to special the Coelacanth. So this is why it plays into Nib, because we had to special this here. If you go for Teus, you can't do the Gaius line like this, but yeah, plays into Nib. So it depends how popular Nib is at your sort of meta, well, this is the moment. Then Nectibus will trigger summoning back the Dragoons. We overlay those for the Hermit Shark, detach for the Toad, and Dragoons triggers here, search Minstrel. Then we can go Armorexes, detach to add Armored Shark. That's 5 Waters Engrave, so we can drop the Molan Glacier, taking 2 cards out of our opponent's hand. Now we go these two for and I've messed up my zones a little bit, but we go for Coralline Enemy. Coralline Enemy, summon back the squad. Squad effect, make our monsters level 7. Then we overlay for Gaius and Poseidra. Then we go for Nectibus, put it there so it's pointing to the Toad. There we go. Trigger the Poseidra in our grave, discarding the Minstrel, to summon back the Minstrel, the Armored Shark, and the squad. We'll trigger Nectibus to add the Abyss Sting. Now we'll go Armored Shark. We send a rank 7. So we send the second copy of the Poseidra to summon back the Coelacanth. Now we can overlay the Armored Shark and that for the Virtue Dragon. Search for the Virtue Stream. Use the effect to add back a water monster. We'll just add back a Prince. Doesn't really matter what you add back, but Prince is probably a good choice. Now we can discard, oh actually, no, for adding back, we'll add back Dragoons. Add back Dragoons. Right. We discard for Coelacanth to special summon just the one at the spike, because it's the only one we've got space for. Trigger the Dragoons, and we'll search for heavy infantry. Then we can synchro for 7 for the Monoceros. When it's summoned, we can summon back a fish. So summon back the spike. Got 2 level 7 waters. So overlay them for Gaios. And we've got the Abyssing Triana. So we can summon back the Dragoon. And here you can go for Dweller, you can go for another. We'll go for the Toad. So we go for Hermit Shark. Detach the Dragoons to summon Toad. Trigger the Dragoons to search for a Sea Serpent, or just add Prince. And then we can go Bahamut and live. We summon that there and that there. Link those two off for Basilacia, and then we can set the Virtue Stream. That's engraved now. So our hand is Infantry, Neptibus, and 4 other cards. We've got 2 Toads, Elacia, Neptibus, Gaios. These 3 can't be targeted, and we've got a set Virtue Stream. We've got Abyss Shrine and Grave to send the heavy infantry. I do think this board's a bit overkill, to be honest, and quite often you can't do it because you get interrupted somewhere, and it sort of takes away. So I don't know if it's worth playing the Monoceros, but it's a good card to mention anyway, and I did pull the combo off once today. So yeah, hope that was informative for everyone, and thanks for watching.